Welcome, my friends, to Earned Value Basics for your PMP exam. The topic of earned value is cropping up a little bit more than I would have expected to see. I don't want to say that I would have liked to see because I actually like earned value and I like the mindedness of it. So earned value is a metric that is used on projects to monitor and track the state of the project in terms of cost, the state of the project in terms of schedule. Are you on schedule? Are you behind schedule? Are you on budget, over budget? Are you right on budget and things like that? So we have a number of formulas that we use to address this topic. And I know some of you have already read it, so I don't want to belabor the issue by going too deep. But in the world of earned value, there are three core metrics. And the three core metrics are as follows. You have planned value, you have actual cost, and you have earned value. We refer to planned value as PV, actual cost is referred to as AC, and earned value is referred to as EV. These are the three core metrics of earned value management. So when you hear this term, earned value management, these three metrics are the core metrics. And these core metrics enable you to create additional derivative metrics. The derivative metrics that you get from these are as follows. You have a cost performance index, and we refer to the cost performance index as CPI. The formula for this is CPI is equal to earned value divided by actual cost. We have a formula called schedule performance index. Schedule performance index is SPI, and that is equal to earned value divided by planned value. We have a couple more derivative metrics, and we have cost variance and cost variance CV, right? CV is equal to earned value minus actual cost. And the final one is schedule variance. And schedule variance SV is equal to earned value minus planned value. So one thing that becomes apparent really quick is they all begin with EV. They all start off with EV divided by something if it's an index. If it's a variance, then it's EV minus something. If it's schedule related, we have PV as the other metric. And if it's cost related, then we have AC as the other metric. Now, a simple question could be as follows. You are a project manager on a project. Earned value is equal to $60. Actual cost is equal to $40. And your planned value is equal to $80. Describe the state or status, project status of the project. Now, there's a very quick way you can do this, my friends. And the quickest way to do this is to compare the earned value to the actual cost. If the earned value is higher than the actual cost, this means that you are under budget. It's favorable. If the earned value is lower than the actual cost, then you got problems. You're over budget. So we always want the earned value to be equal to or higher than the actual cost. In the same token, if earned value is higher than planned value, that's good. But in this scenario, we can see that the planned value is higher. It's $80 and the earned value is $60. That means we are behind schedule. So let's think about the meaning of all of this. Earned value is the work that you've accomplished. Actual cost is the money that you spent. Planned value is the work you planned to do. So when you think about it, you planned to do $80 worth of work within a time period. But when the time period was done, you only got $60 worth of work accomplished. That means you are late. That is unfavorable. Okay? In this case, you got $60 of work done, but you only spent $40. That's not bad. That actually means that your cost efficiency is quite high. In fact, it's higher than your schedule efficiency. So if we plug these numbers in to these formulas, we can then get a better understanding of what these formulas tell us, even though I've broken it down for you very simply. So if we take the earned value of 60 and just plug it here as well, because they're all beginning with earned value, right? Remember, there's always dollar signs on these, but the dollar signs will cancel for the indices. For the variances, they won't cancel. So this is going to be 60 minus the actual cost of 40. This is going to be 60 minus the planned value of 80. Remember, this is going to be in dollars. Always include your dollars in your final logic. Again, for this, for the cost, it's going to be divided by $40. And for the schedule performance index, we're going to divide that by $80. Okay? When all is said and done, you're going to get 1.5 for the cost performance index. That means you are 150% efficient cost-wise. That means you're spending $1, but you're getting $1.50 out of it. That's quite commendable. In fact, to some managements, they'll question you to ask if you padded, because that is very, very good. For the schedule performance index, we now have a different tale to tell. So in this instance, we have, you cancel the zeros, you have 2 goes here 3 and 2 goes here 4. So you have a 0.75. So what this means is you are only 0.75 efficient. You are 75% efficient. It means that 75% of the work to be done is what you're getting done, and there's 25% of the work that you have not accomplished, which shows poor schedule performance. So you can say this is under budget for the first one. This one, the logic is you are behind schedule. And then coming down here, if we do the subtraction, understanding our final number will be in dollars, this is going to be $20. So we have a positive number there. That's positive $20. We take a look at the final one down here, factoring in 60 minus 80, this is going to be a minus $20. So what does this mean? This means in terms of cost, this is a good cost performance, or you could again say under budget. That means you've got $20 extra that you plan to spend, but because of your cost performance, you didn't need to spend, which is not bad. Taking a look at this one, this shows we are behind schedule by $20. There's $20 worth of work that needs to be done. And when you take a look at earned value, that is pretty much the high level story about earned value. Now, with earned value in mind, there's other metrics to be aware of, and I'm going to show you these other metrics real quick. There's something called a budget at completion. And budget at completion is the final total budget that you compute before the project starts. So if you say, we're working on this wall painting project, on day 1, we're going to paint this. On day 2, we're going to paint this. On day 3, this. And on day 4, this. And on day 1, we're going to spend $10 for this project. Day 2, we're going to spend another $10. Day 3 and day 4, also $10. Then we can see the budget at completion in this example is going to be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, and that will give us $40. So your budget at completion is $40. You can say that these are planned values for each time period. So you can say that your budget at completion is the cumulative planned value on a project. The summation of your planned values all across the project from 0 to n, you got to factor in all. So this would be n time period 1, time period 2. You got to add them all up. And that's what budget at completion is. Now, the final metric, which I'll show you today, is called EAC, estimate at completion. And the estimate at completion we need to factor in actual cost plus something called ETC. This is called the estimate to complete. So if you're given a problem that says you've spent $20 and you've estimated the work left, so AC is $20, you got work remaining of $90, then your estimate at completion is going to be equal to the 20 plus the 90, which will give the $110. Now, it could be this same project where in the beginning we had estimated $40 as our BAC, but as the project progressed, we realized that these estimates were flawed. And by the time we estimated afresh and added it to the amount that we had spent, you realize what your estimate, remember it's not the budget, it's an estimate. You then realize what your estimate at completion is, all right? I hope this gave you some context. If you enjoyed this, smash the like button and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
The bottom line is this. You have 4 metrics: cost performance index, cost variance, schedule performance index, and schedule variance. So your metrics revolve around cost, all right? These 2 are cost, and this is schedule, just like this one, right? Now, the only difference is that the cost performance index has to do with indices, right? An index. The schedule performance index has to do with an index, which means there's no currency. It's just a number like 1.2 or 0.5 or 0.8, things like that. On the flip side, when it comes to the variance related metrics, the cost variance is a number. So it could be a minus $10, or it could be a minus $10,000, or it could be a plus $5 or a plus $50 and so on. Schedule variance, same thing. It's a dollar amount. So it could be a plus 100, it could be a minus 2 and things like that. For your exam, you need to be able to interpret what the numbers mean. That is the main thing. Don't go crazy on the formulas, because I have learned from a number of folks that is not very paramount anymore. And I've also heard that the graphs, they don't even really appear anymore. They used to, not anymore. So even though I teach it still, you probably will not get a graphical question on earned value. But as people say, you just hope you won't. Who knows? So this is what I want us to do today. If I tell you the schedule performance index is equal to 0.6, this means you are only 60% efficient schedule-wise. What does that mean? That means if you are going to get something done on your project in a day, you promise, I'm going to get all of this stuff done. When all is said and done, you would only get 60% of the scheduled work done. So if you planned to get 100 blocks moved, at the end of the day, you only got 60 blocks moved. You understand? So think about it. If I planned to get 100 things done, right, within a time box, that's the key thing. We're dealing with a time box. Okay, let's say it's a 1-day time box. I said I would get 100 done, but when all was said and done, I only got 60 done. See, you're only 60 out of 100 in terms of the time box, what you said you would do within the time box. Let me give you another example. SPI of 0.8. What this means is, for example, if on a project I said I would dig 10 trenches in, let's say, 5 days, but at the end of 5 days, I had only dug 8 trenches, 8 out of 10 within the time box. That's what the SPI means. So the SPI, when you boil it down, is really looking at the work done divided by the work that you scheduled. See it? How many did I do? 8. How many did I schedule? 10. SPI is 0.8. How many story points did I say I would get done? I said I would get 150 story points done for my team, with my team. How many did I actually get done? I only got 75 story points. This is what I did. This is what I planned. You get it? And that's the schedule performance index. But they're not really going to ask you a lot of calculations. They're just going to give you numbers on the exam. What about cost performance index? What does this mean? Cost performance index is the earned value divided by the actual cost. It's how much you did versus how much you spent. As far as the schedule variance, in my example, let's say you had the earned value, because that's what it is, right? Let's say the earned value was 8 and the planned value was 10. Then in this case, you can see you got a negative, you got minus $2. That means you are behind schedule, right? That's what that means. Okay, let's go to cost variance. In the cost variance example, cost variance is earned value minus actual cost. If your earned value, again, let's say it's $8 and your actual cost is $12, your cost variance is minus $4. See that? That means you are $4 over budget. So you got to be specific with the over budget, behind schedule, under budget, ahead of schedule, whole mantra, right? So just remember, if you are late, you are behind schedule, right? If you're early, you are ahead of schedule, right? Also remember, in terms of budget, If you have spent more, right, you're over budget in the hole, as they say. This is a bad situation. Or you could be under budget, which is not a bad situation, right? Under budget could be looked at as a good or favorable situation, depending, right? But the PMI isn't going into the minutia of how much over budget or under budget are you. You're over budget, you're over budget. You're under budget, you're under budget. So right here, we can see what SPI, CPI, SV, and CV numbers should be thought of as. We can see if you're less than 1 on the far right of the screen. I'm just going to put a box around it. If you're greater than 1, you're ahead, less than 1 behind, equal to 1 on target. See? Same thing with these, under budget, over budget, on target. So if you get these conventions straight, what it means when you have a SPI, CPI, CV, SV less than 1, greater than 1, zeros for the variances. So the variances are all about the 0, right? Because they're variances. The indices are all about the 1, okay? Highly advise you take a screenshot of what I'm showing you on the screen right now, okay? And then also do this little exercise, okay? Do this little exercise, okay? As I go through them one by one, take a second and hit the pause button. Good, bad, or something else. Good, bad, or something else. Hit the pause button, train yourself on this stuff. Good, bad, or something else. Good, bad, or something else. Good, bad, or something else. That one is suspicious. That means you're 3 times as efficient as you said you would. There could be a problem. Okay. All right. Now the exam won't go that far, like I did just now, challenging. What does it mean? Maybe, that kind of questioning your high SPI. It may not be like that on the test. I think it's going to be a lot easier. A lot easier. All right. Here we go. Good, bad, or something else. Good, bad, or something else. What do you think? Good. What about this? Highly suspicious. What about this? All right, my friends, that is it for earned value management. That is as far as I'm going to go. I think adding anything else, doing anything more than this is just a waste of time. My last students who got certified, I believe I spent maybe 15 minutes with them on earned value. They've forgotten their PMPs now. They've forgotten their PMPs. So that's all for today, my friends. I hope this helped. Vicky, I hope this helped you. Don't sweat the graphs, okay? I know there's graph training here on YouTube. Don't sweat the graphs. Focus on what I've trained you on today. You'll be good, okay? You take care, and I'll speak to you soon.